Namaste, welcome and welcome back to my channel, Rose Serpent Oracle. My name's Nela Maat. Thank you guys so very much for being here. These are going to be collective general messages. And so please remember to take what resonates and just leave what doesn't, okay? Once again, I set intentions to create a sacred space, calling in the manifestation of truth and divine protection through all worlds, all bodies, all dimensions. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, you guys. So, full moon in Sagittarius. This is where we at. However, it's not just that. There's so much going on, and it's been going on, right? I'm talking about astrological alignments. Every single person. Doesn't matter if you are new to spirituality or you're not even aware. The world is going through a shift. And now, I'm not into New Age spirituality. What I'm talking about is that we are going through an evolution, an expansion. The world is changing. And we are being asked as humans to grow, to evolve. Why? Well, because life is about cycles, you see? And we are experiencing great times for expansion, for growth. We're being given the opportunity to reevaluate things, to think things through it, to ask ourselves important questions, right? At the end of the day, spirituality is life. Life is spirituality, right? And so the Sagittarius full moon is asking us to ask ourselves important questions. Sagittarius is the truth seeker. And so divinity is guiding us, right, to find truth within our hearts, to take a look at situations in our life that needs healing, that needs integration, what needs to be seen, what needs to be healed, where do we need to expand, where do we have to grow. Then we have to go to our heart. Are you happy with the life you're living, right? I just saw that quote from Bob Marley, right? Are you happy with the life you're living? Because at the end of the day, we are no victims, and there are always opportunities for moving forward differently. There's always opportunities for growth, for expansion. Poverty, in truth, is in the mind. And divinity, God, will answer our prayers in very mysterious ways, right? A lot of times you pray for revelations, you pray for guidance, you pray, show me the truth about the situation, about where I'm at, or this person. Show me, please help me, right? Intervene in my life. And what happens? We experience tower moments. What are tower moments? Divine intervention, revelations. And so we go through uncomfortable situations that then expose what needs to be seen and what needs to be addressed. And it's up to us if we want to take the answers and then be bold and choose differently, okay? We have grace and generosity with the benefactor energy. We have balancing act, dances of the one food. We have the Magician's Sword with confidence in your magic. So far, these two energies are speaking about the importance of embodying divine virtues, the importance of releasing devices, the importance of cultivating healthy habits. The Magician's Sword is about cutting through deception. And this does not have to be about somebody else being deceptive. However, how many times are we being deceptive in how we see ourselves or how we perceive ourselves? The stories we tell ourselves, because our pain, our suffering speaks. Because if we're still holding on to chronic resentment, that also speaks. Okay? And so the Magician's Sword is the sword of truth that we can always use to cut through negativity, negative habits, pessimism, victimization, right? Self-limiting beliefs that create self-imposed suffering. Shame on me for being imperfect. Shame on me for not being like other people. Shame on me for not being what my family wanted me to be. And so this is the energy I'm feeling. You must have confidence in your magic. You must have confidence that if you embody divine virtues like understanding, compassion, yes, you can then transmute and transform vices into virtues. And what happens when we change? Everything else changes. A lot of time we find ourselves in very uncomfortable situations. And now we don't have to make it about right or wrong or good or bad or who's faulting and who to blame. At the end of the day, if you're finding yourself in an uncomfortable situation, it is because you're meant to learn something. However, what matters is, are you going to be bold enough to confront what needs to be confronted, see what needs to be seen, address what you need to address, right? I just started to feel pain behind my heart chakra on the left side. It's pulsating. And when I am experiencing that pain, it is because I am holding on to some kind of emotions. And so I want you to pay attention to your emotions. Ask yourself, do you have the tendency to intellectualize life and the most important, your emotions? Okay. So this energy speaks about a balancing act. So this is about merging masculine and feminine. This is about manifesting a level of temperance in our lives. Yeah, we can say a level, a degree of balance. Okay. And now, whoa, okay, wait, because I'm receiving a message. If we don't make it about like balance, it can also be about the word, the energy of flow. Because the message that is coming forward is about we cannot control life situations. Sometimes you have to put your attention and your intention and your focus on something and kind of let other things wait. So it is more about finding a flow and moving with what is needed. Okay. And so what I'm hearing is that it's so very important right now to prioritize, to ask ourselves what needs attention right now. And based on what my body is saying and how spirit is making me feel, I feel like I'm carrying emotions and I might be intellectualizing my life. This is the energy of feeling burdened, responsible, carrying the weight of the world, sorrow and grief, and feeling even a sense or a degree of loneliness. Okay, so I want to ask you guys. Oh, I just said another word, unsupported. Spirit said you might be feeling unsupported, like a sense of, abandonment, feeling like nobody got my back. So Spirit really wants you to tap into those beliefs and to really go into your heart in order for you to experience the love of the Divine Mother, Father, Source, Creator, or you can call it God. Okay? Slowing down and processing, feeling is healing. Okay? As I was in the shower and when I was clearing my energy this morning, I usually decree and set intentions and I chant and I do all of the things, you know what I mean? Um, but I heard the message of the importance of slowing down and approaching our day with clear intentions, the practice of mindfulness, and then the power of our words. Okay, so you're being reminded of the power of your words and your intentions. So getting very clear about why you're doing things is so important. I always speak about integrity. A lot of times we want to manifest things, however, we are shifting from timelines, and I mean like from the energy of fear to the energy of self-doubt, from the energy of self-empowerment, from the energy of self-doubt again. So, sometimes we're going through that dance where we're trying to reconcile with different aspects of ourselves because there's inner conflict and we feel conflicted in the outside. Okay, we have revelations on Mark Trail, right? Then we have Sky riding the fates, and then strolling worlds, wandering between realms. That's what I was feeling. Is that dance of the duality and the polarity, and you know, it's so it's okay. It's okay to find ourselves where we are. I feel that Spirit is saying, be gentle with yourself right now. Things are gonna become clear. Um, there's this also energy of meeting people and also reconciling and the practice of generosity. Okay, there's an energy of synchronicity and fated connections, um, and then the liberation that comes from when we decide to put down the swords and the walls of defensiveness and defenses, and when we get into a point in our journey where, like I said, our intentions are so clear, and when we make our intentions, about embodying virtues, that's when life becomes easier. Because if I set the intentions, right, to practice generosity, to be understanding, to have consideration, then obviously that energy is going to ripple in my interactions, right? And now, not to say that we're humans and we go through difficult emotions and we're still working through healing. However, if we are starting our day with clear intentions, so we say, you know what, today I want to show up and be that vessel. I want to be a service to divinity. Show me the way, that is a great way to deal with our ego and to then train our brain too, because our brain learns by repetition. And so if you get committed By the way, I'm just channeling as I am placing my hands on top of the card. So I'm channeling him. I also look somewhere else because I'm listening to spirit. So I'm just, it's like I just feel like I need to explain this. If you see me looking somewhere else, it's because then I'm a vessel and divinity is using me and my ego is somewhere else. And so, anyways, going back to what spirit wants to say. And so, the importance of setting clear intentions during our day to act in our purpose, to be at service and not to make it about good or bad or right or wrong, or I have to prove something or I have to seek validation. However, this is more about what is it that we're desiring to gain, right? What is the outcome? And once again, this is not about attaching ourselves to particular outcomes. However, releasing the control and then connecting with the energy, the frequency, right? For example, if you are experiencing a lot of conflicts and there's a lot of back and forth and bickering and all of that, we could set the intentions to, today I want to become compassion. Today I want to become understanding. I'm opening my heart. I can be considerate. I can listen to the other person or people point of view. However, I don't have to take it, but I can be there. I don't have to fight. I don't have to prove. This is what I'm talking about. And so focusing on the positive outcome of, okay, it feels good. The person is feeling how they feel and not my responsibility. However, I don't have to carry that. And then allowing the magic to work, right? The magic of the virtues. Yes. Yes. I feel like a lot of you who are seeking for clarity is coming. And you're being asked, like I said, you're being asked to expand, to seek expansion, to expand in your practices and your craft, to seek for study, to look for the correct information, okay? We are going to now use tarot, and I want to thank you for being here. If you're still here, don't forget to like and subscribe. We have the card of the Chariot. Beautiful, right? Cancer energy, perfect. Then Judgment, whoa, with Pluto, powerful energies. And then the Queen of Cups. Then the Ace of Wands, right? The Ace of Wands, seeking the higher perspective, being very clear with our intentions. This is about movement forward, being very grounded though, becoming the will of the creator. And that's what happens when you transform your ego, when you become very self-aware, right? You can set intentions each day to know where you at. Am I working through self-doubt? Am I working through mistrust issues? Am I working through, low self-esteem? Okay, then I'm aware of it, right? I'm aware of it. So what happens? Okay, here and here. Okay, this is what we have. Let me guide you. So if I'm very aware of how I truly feel, right, then I know that whatever that I am seeking to manifest and to do is going to have that energy of self-awareness, right? Because our frequency ripples into everything we do in life. So how do we want to show up each day is the very important question. And so Spirit is saying self-awareness. And then I'm hearing confidence is your key to success. Okay? Ground your emotions. Take action from a place where your judgment needs to be clear. Your judgment of things must be transmuted through Pluto. So seek a higher perspective, right? Know thyself. Know what is it that you're working through, so that there is no deception within your creations, okay? Then allow yourself to feel, because right now you are healing your relationship with your instinct, with your intuition. You are learning to practice discernment, okay? This feels very good. We're gonna finish this reading with a rune. I was trying to make it shorter, however, it's just what it is, you know. It's not me, it's spirit. We have the rune of right hoe, and this is the wheel. Oh my goodness, the synchronicities, okay? The wheel, the journey, the rune of communication, union, and material or spiritual journey. Help and advice, and also the rune of the ritual dance. So this is pretty much it. You are on your own spiritual quest, and you're being asked to surrender to the process, to allow this transformation to occur. Things are moving forward. All is well. Okay, you are protected and you are safe. Thank you to the full moon in Sagittarius. That is definitely bringing a lot of clarity, a lot of revelations, and focus on the higher perspective. Okay? But this is all I got for you guys. I hope that you find some comfort, love, confirmations that make sense, right? It's been a pleasure to be here. Please don't forget to like and follow and all of the things. You know what's up. I love you guys. Namaste. Ciao, ciao.